Some men are unforgettable, and some men, they vanish from her mind the second she walks away. You know this already. You felt it. You were kind. You were attentive. You texted first. You were always available. And she still pulled back. She still lost interest. Still said she wasn't ready or needed space, or the classic, "You're a really great guy, but..." Meanwhile, there's another man. He didn't try so hard. He wasn't always around. He didn't pour his heart out on date 2, and she can't stop thinking about him. Why? Because she never figured him out. He never let her. And that right there is the difference. This is point 6. One of the most underrated yet dangerously effective traits a man can have. Mystery. Not games. Not manipulation. Just the disciplined art of keeping her guessing. You want to stop being forgotten? You want to become the man that replays in her head at night? Then listen closely, because what I'm about to say flips the script. Section 1. The psychology of mystery. Let's get something straight. Women are not confused by mystery. They're drawn to it. It taps into something primal, emotional, psychological. A man who doesn't hand over his entire story. In the first week, he's not being closed off. He's being intentional. He's not hiding. He's protecting his inner world, and women respect that more than you realize. Here's why. The human brain craves pattern recognition. It wants to solve puzzles. It wants to connect dots, especially when emotions are involved. When a man gives her the entire blueprint of who he is, what he's been through, what he's feeling, and what he wants, immediately, there's nothing left to explore. No tension, no suspense, no spark of the unknown, just pages of a book she didn't have to earn the right to read. But the man who keeps parts of himself in reserve, who shares in layers, not in floods, he becomes the unsolved equation. He's the man she can't stop analyzing, and it's not just intrigue, it's investment. The mind replays what it can't resolve. So when you don't offer resolution, you become the loop she replays again and again. Section 2. What mystery looks. Like in real life, let's break this down with real-world behaviors. Here's what a mysterious man does, and what he doesn't do. He listens more than he speaks. He doesn't rush to share every trauma, every insecurity, every heartbreak. He keeps his emotional boundaries intact, even when she's trying to break them down. She'll ask, "What are you thinking?" And he'll smile and say, "A lot." But not everything's meant to be said, not to be rude, not to create distance, but to show that his internal world has value. She asks about his past. He tells her what matters, not everything that's ever happened. Because he understands this, emotional intimacy isn't a currency you throw around to buy approval. It's a vault, and access to that vault is earned. He's calm, collected, controlled. He's not robotic. He still shows warmth, still shows care, but he never overexposes. While other men are out here emotionally stripping on day 3, hoping it'll make her feel closer, he's steady, because he knows something they don't. When a woman earns deeper layers of your mind, it means something, and what has meaning lasts. So while other men are begging for connection by oversharing, he builds real attraction by staying grounded, unreadable, and just out of reach. Section 3. Why mystery makes you memorable. There's a reason women remember the man they couldn't fully figure out. It's not frustration, it's fascination. He becomes the mental cliffhanger, and in a world flooded with men who overshare, overtext, and overexplain, he stands out. Because mystery makes you rare, and in case you forgot, what's rare is respected. She remembers his voice, his presence. The way he didn't always explain himself, but when he spoke, it mattered. She replays moments, not because he love-bombed her, but because he didn't. Because she still has questions, and unanswered questions become emotional anchors. Years later, She might not remember the name of the guy who flooded her phone with long texts and trauma dumps, but she'll remember him, the one who looked her in the eye with certainty, the one who didn't get flustered by her tests, the one who let silence hang when it needed to, the one who didn't need to impress her because he knew who he was. And that energy, it imprints on the feminine mind because it carries masculine discipline. Section 4. The difference between mystery and manipulation. Now, listen carefully, because this part matters. Mystery is not playing games. It's not ghosting. It's not withholding affection. It's not being too cool to care. That's immaturity. Mystery is about boundaries, self-respect, and intentional access. It says, I value my inner world, I value who I am, and I'm not giving you all of me before you've earned that right. It's the same as not handing over your keys to someone you just met. You don't owe someone full access just because there's a vibe. Mystery is selective vulnerability. It's knowing when to open up and when to hold steady. And when a woman senses that, she's drawn in. Because now you're not just a man. You're a standard. You're someone who doesn't need approval. You're someone who chooses to give access. That distinction, it's what separates boys from men. Section 5. Final message and call to action. Let's be honest, if this message hit differently, it's probably because you've been the man who over-explained, who chased, who tried too hard to be emotionally open too early. And it didn't work, because being too available doesn't make her feel special. It makes her feel bored. So now, the ball is in your court. Do you keep being forgettable? Do you keep giving your time, energy, and vulnerability to women who haven't earned it? Or do you become the man they never stop thinking about? The man who doesn't need to chase. The man who doesn't beg. The man who's comfortable in his silence, confident in his boundaries, intentional with his energy. You know who women remember? The man who could walk away. The one who stayed calm when tested. The one who didn't overshare just to bond. The one who gave her just enough to keep her curious, but never too much to make himself common. Those men, they're not easy to replace. And what isn't replaceable becomes unforgettable. So if you're tired of feeling like an option, if you're ready to stop chasing and start attracting, then click the link in the description. This isn't a therapy session. This isn't some fluff alpha nonsense. This is real, grounded, masculine strategy, the kind of transformation that flips the dynamic and makes you the one in control. But it's not for everyone. It's not for the weak, not for the needy, and definitely not for the ones still seeking validation. It's for the few men who are done being ordinary, who are ready to build the kind of presence, discipline, and mystery that keeps her wondering long after the moment has passed. So remember, be rare, be disciplined, be unforgettable, because that's the man she never forgets.